And once again, we welcome you back to SEM High School. Brent Apperson with Larry Kottner. Live coverage of the high school volleyball triangular from here at SEM with the SEM Lady Mustangs, Twin Loup Lady Wolves, and Arcadia Loup City, who joins us now. Arcadia Loup City and Twin Loup coming up next in match number 2. And as we get you ready for it, we want to say thanks to these sponsors: Loup City Lanes, Tubbs Pub. Nope, let me get to the right list. Twin Loup Boosters bringing you this match, along with Loup City Lanes, First Nebraska Bank, First Nebraska Bank Insurance Group, Loup City Auto Parts, Central Nebraska Electric, Loup City Lumber, Johnson Hunt and Fish, Loup Agency, Loup Realty, Kushok's Hardware and Variety, Platte River Outdoors, Citizens Bank, Moshka's Building Center, Loup City RX Shop, J Boutique in Loup City. Also brought to you in part by the Nebraska State Bank, Grocery Cart, Custer Federal State Bank, Arrow Seed, Rod's Body and Paint, Team Physical Therapy, Trotter Service, Mead Lumber, Shelter Insurance, Brent Custer, A to Z Lawn Pro and Landscaping, Squire Septic Service of Myrna, Geared for Sports, Agland ATV, Bruning Bank, The Garden Center, Sargent Irrigation, and Duda Plumbing. Again, we're providing a live video stream of tonight's matches as well, accessible on the Sandhills Express Facebook page and Sandhills Express YouTube channel. And bringing you the video stream tonight, Joe's Market of Loup City, Jen Smedra, CPA, Moshka's Building Center, Palmer Monument, Lions Appliance, Agribest Feeds, Insurance of the Heartland, Grocery Cart, Power Solutions, Agland ATV, BD Broken Bow, Colligan, Del Moniger and Tim Wright, Mead Lumber, Nebraska State Bank, Kristen Electric, Callaway District Hospital with the Arnold and Callaway Medical Clinics. Getting ready for match number 2, Twin Loup and Arcadia Loup City. We'll come back with more after this 4-minute timeout. And we bring you back to SEM High School, getting ready for our second match of the night as Arcadia Loup City gets ready to take on Twin Loup. If you're just joining us, our opening match of the night won by the host team SEM, winning over Twin Loup 25-18, 25-19. It'll be SEM and Arcadia Loup City coming up in our final match of the night, but we get ready for match two between the Lady Rebels and the Lady Wolves. Joining me again, Larry Kottner, as we continue from here at SEM. Time for match number two. Arcadia Loup City joins us from a win-loss standpoint, Larry. Kind of been a tough season for Arcadia Loup City, but, you know, I've always said this. You don't measure success, at least I don't think you do, by just wins and losses. It is, are you getting better as the season progresses? And we've had the opportunity to see Arcadia Loup City on a few occasions this season. We saw them early in the year, we saw them midway through the season, and when we watched them midway through the year, I mean, at least when I watched them that night, they were getting better, and that's the key.
Yeah, we saw them get better right that night. We were playing or watching them up in Greeley. From their first match to the second match, they improved immensely, and they play tough competition. You know, they're in the Loup Platte Conference, which is predominantly C2 and even some C1 volleyball teams. And, you know, you're looking at St. Paul, who's just been a mainstay at the top there. Centura, we've seen them a couple of times this year, and that's a very good volleyball team. You know, those are teams that they got to face on a regular basis. But then they also face some other tough teams in D1, like SEM, like Burwell. You know, we see that occasionally, and they'll be taking on a very good Twin Loup team, as we mentioned, looking for their 20th victory of the year as they come in here at 19-9.
And for Twin Loup, Larry, coming off a loss now, trying to bounce back after falling to SEM in the opening match of the night. This is a Twin Loup team who is kind of trying to reinvent themselves a little bit. An unfortunate injury to their top attacker and certainly one of their top players, Cassidy Grint. First off, whenever you see an injury occur, you feel first off for the athlete. And, you know, Cassidy was having a great season. Twin Loup was just kind of starting to get into what you felt was a rhythm coming down the stretch of the season, and then you have that unfortunate injury happen to her. So with her out, for Coach Phillips, Twin Loup, again, starting to reinvent themselves and trying to get better with who they have available now.
Yeah, and they're trying to find the perfect spot for that rotation there. And now Cassidy is suited up. We've even seen her warm up, but we also noticed that she doesn't move that left arm any at all. So it's just more to be out there and be supportive of her teammates.
So we get ready for match number two. It'll be Arcadia Loup City coming up against Twin Loup. We'll come back and give you the starters right after this 3-minute timeout. And we bring it back to SEM High School, again getting ready for the start of match number 2 of the night as Arcadia Loup City gets ready to take on Twin Loup. Calling it for you will be Larry Cotner, and we turn it over to him as he gives you tonight's starting lineups.
All right, first of all, for the Lady Rebels of Arcadia Loup City, they'll go this way. Olivia Fitzgerald, she is a 5'7" sophomore. Landry Luce, 5'7" and a senior. Eva Jackson, 5'8" sophomore. Nicole Shaleski, she is a 5'7" sophomore. Tatum Kapuska, she's 5'8" and a senior. And 5'10" senior Danica Heil. The libero is Capri Calarose, 5'2" and a junior. The head coach, Sky Grice, she is also assisted by Trista Ashe and Jennifer Cusack. So once again, it'll be Fitzgerald, Luce, Jackson, Shaleski, Kaputska, and Heil, as well as the libero, Calarose. Now for Twin Loup, we just saw them here a little bit ago. Senior Alexis Mahler, Elsie Otten, she is a senior. Tara Horkey, another of the seniors, as well as Riley Barron. Sophomore Madison Glidden and junior Catherine Folkers. Actually, Catherine is a senior. And Reagan Mahler, she is a sophomore. The libero, by the way, is Alexis Mahler. They are coached by Tammy Phillips, assisted by Jackie Lewis and Abby Taylor. So again, it's the two Mahler girls. One is the libero, that's Alexis. And then it's Folkers, Glidden, Barron, Horkey, and Otten. 19-9 for Twin Loup, 6-21 for Arcadia Loup City. And we are about ready for the action.
And we'll come back and bring it to you after this 1-minute timeout. Again, we're getting ready for our second match of the night. Coming up next, Arcadia Loup City and Twin Loup. We're live on KBBN 95.3 FM, KBBN.com. Also live with our video stream, which you can access on the Sandhills Express YouTube channel and Sandhills Express Facebook page. Fort County Heating and Air owners Brian Hogg and Austin Cox serve the area with a combined 20 years of experience in the HVAC industry. They provide free estimates and 24-hour service. They'll be there for you when the cold weather hits, so be prepared. Call Fort County Heating and Air in Broken Bow, 872-2258. Well, the teams are out on the court. We're ready to play volleyball. And to call match number 2 of the night, we'll turn it over to Larry Cotner.
All right, thank you very much, Brent. It'll be Twin Loup in the right court, going right to left and left to right. Arcadia Loup City. They are decked out in their black uniforms with the red and white trim. And Twin Loup has changed into the white, blue, and gray uniforms with the black shorts. They'll be going right to left. Arcadia Loup City again left to right. The officials talking over all the rotations right now, making sure everybody is set. Don't forget we've got one more match after this. The host team, SEM, who won in the first match, 25-18, 25-19 over Twin Loup, will face Arcadia Loup City in the final match of the night. And it looks like the libero, Capri Calarose, will check into the lineup as soon as the official looks over on the Arcadia Loup City side. Speaking of Twin Loup, we've got them in football on Thursday night, the playoffs. Grant Winterer and I will be in Taylor for that on our sister station, KCNI. 5:45 airtime, 6 o'clock kickoff from Taylor. It'll be Twin Loup and Elgin Pope John. Brent's going to be going down to Kennesaw for a pretty good game on 95.3 between South Loop and Kennesaw. It'll be Landry Luce to start things off from the left side to serve for the Lady Rebels, and we are underway. Service is a good one. Dug out by Alexis Mahler, tipped across, but in the net was Arcadia Loup City. Jackson called in the net on that tip. Point will go to Twin Loup. They lead it 1-0. Otten with the service, dug out by Heil. Set up by Luce, back for Heil on the left side, down the line, taken out of there by Mahler. Standing spike, Barron, dug out by Shaleski. They'll go to the back set for Kapuska, and Kapuska will get it home for the kill. And we're knotted up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, that attack from Kapuska came from the back row. Good solid swing, and the Rebels tie it up early.
Shaleski's service, dug out middle by Mahler. They'll set it up for Folkers. Big swing and down off the back row touch of Luce. And it's 2-1 in favor of the Lady Wolves of Twin Loup.
One of the best swings of the night for Catherine Folkers. Good set, too. Catherine able to get on top of it and drive it to the floor.
Claire Young will check in to serve. Sends it to the back row. Dug it out of there by Kapuska. Back set. Pushed across by Jackson. Kept alive by Horkey. Pushed to the front row, and Otten will send it over. Luce digs it out. Bump set by Heil. The attack by Fitzgerald returned quickly. Now on the Twin Loup side. Pushed across by Horkey. Dug out by Heil. Set up now on the left side. Jackson trying to push to the direction, and did not catch what the call was.
Yeah, net violation.
Net violation.
Twin Loup in the net.
I'm kind of not able to see right now. I'm going to get up on my feet here and see the down official. So it's 2-2. Sent across by Otten. Dug out by Calaros. They'll set it up for Heil. Tipped at the front line. Dug out by Young. Big swing by Folkers. And that'll go down off the back row touch of Landry Luce. And it's a point for Twin Loup. They lead it 3-2. Our score in favor of Twin Loup. They'll serve. Going back to the service line will be Ava Bodorf. Sends it. Dug out back row by Jackson. Back set for Jackson. Puts it into the net. Did not climb over. It'll pop back, and the point will go to Twin Loup. They lead it 4-2. And Bodorf will serve once again. Working just left of the right side. Just right of center, I guess you would say. Calaros with the dig. Gets it back, pushes it over. Dug out by Reagan Mahler. Set up for Horkey with the dink. It'll go into the donut hole for the point.
Boy, nice roll shot with the right hand by Horkey. Just rolled it over the block. Nobody there to cover for Arcadia Loup City.
A lot of pastry on that one. Bodorf will send it. Played by Calaros, back row center. Push left side. Kapuska with the big swing off the block and down for the point. And Arcadia Loup City breaks the run for Twin Loup. It's 5-3 now, Lady Wolves.
2 kills for Kapuska in this opening set. One of them coming from the back row. That one at the net on the outside.
Junior Libby Ferentz with the service. Dug out by Mahler. They'll set it up for the left side. Heading it across that time was Olson. Now Twin Loup setting it up for Horkey. Horkey will get it down off the back row touch of Ferentz. And Twin Loup doubles up the score at 6-3 here in set number 1.
Horkey's been really good tonight with the attacking for Twin Loup. Really has done it from all positions on the floor. That time the middle attack as she now steps back to the service line.
Taken there by Fitzgerald. She'll get it back off the set. Rolls it down the line and off the touch of Mahler. She'll get it down for a kill. 6-4 now the count. Calaros will check out. Back in to play the front line is Nicole Shaleski. Service will come from Fitzgerald. Olivia steps into this one, sends it. Played by Mahler, back row center. Pass left side, off the block. That one almost went for Otten, and then trying to push it across was Kaputska, but her and Ferentz kind of ran into each other, and that threw it off a little bit. Point will go to the Lady Wolves. 7-4 the score in favor of Twin Loup. We're in set number 1. Match number 2 of this triangular. We still have SEM and Arcadia Loup City for the last one tonight. Swinging down on the crisscross attack right to left. Going down with it is Tatum Kaputska to get Arcadia Loup City back within 2 at 7-5.
Boy, good attack from Kaputska. Went cross court with it. Had a really good angle. And now she goes back to the service line.
Steps into this one from the right side. It's a bullet. Skims off Mahler, and Horky is not able to catch up to it. That's an ace serve, 7-6, and the Lady Rebels will serve for the tie. Kaputska will go back there once again. Operate off the traditional right side. Steps into it, sends it. Played there by Horky. Set up in the middle for Otten, drives it through, but kept alive by Jackson. Pushed up for a big swing by Luce. It will go long. They were looking for the touch, but no touch there. And Twin Loup will get the point, leading 8-6. Checking in to do the service will be Madison Glidden. She's a sophomore. Just left of center, sends it with the left hand. Played by Kaputska. Calrose had to go through. That's going to be a double touch on Calrose, and the point will go to the Lady Wolves, who lead at 9-6. Glidden once again. The lefty sends that one to the back row. Well, I'll tell you, everybody for Arcadia Loup City said that was long, and it took a nosedive at the end, Brent.
Yeah, it did. We had a good look at it from where we're located, and it did just catch the line.
10-6 the score. Once again, that one, though, slicing off to the left side, the left-hander from Glidden and out of bounds. Point will go to Arcadia Loup City, who's back within 3 at 10-7. Landry loose, the jump serve. Played back row center by Mahler. Set up by Otten for Folkers, who gets it off the front row touch and down for a point. Back to a 4-point advantage. It's lucky numbers of 11 and 7. Elsie Otten to serve for the Lady Wolves. And that one's going to sail on her. Service error, point will go to the Lady Rebels. Opportunity here for Nicole Shaleski to serve from right in the middle of the court. And it hits the top of the tape and bounces back. Service error, point will go to Twin Loup. They're up by 4, 12-8. We're in set number 1. Second match of the night for Twin Loup. They lost the first one to the host, SEM, in 2 sets, 25-18, 25-19. Heil will send it over on a free ball. Twin Loup now on offense, pushed across by Horky. Now bumped up by Luce, pushed over by Fitzgerald. Horky sets it up in the middle for Folkers and drives it through. One of the players for Arcadia Loup City was into the net, and the point will go to Twin Loup. That'll extend the lead to 13-8. Service by Claire Young into the net. Makes it a 13-9 first set. Eva Jackson to do the honors. That one hits the net, goes on over, but dug out nicely by Reagan Mahler. But on the overpass, Kaputska with the slam.
Well, Kaputska's had an outstanding opening set for Arcadia Loup City. That time able to take advantage of the overpass and really drove it to the floor.
13-10, Twin Loup. Jackson, service, that's a good one. Young keeps it alive, so is Mahler. Nobody else is going to get to it. Hustling after it was Glidden, but no chance at it. And Jackson gets her team back within 2. And will serve once again. 13-11 the score. Jackson, service. Played back road, center by Glidden. Quick set for Folkers, blocked back by Heil and Kaputska. And that will go back to Arcadia Loup City, who will serve for a tie down 13-12. You don't see Folkers blocked often, but they got up there and timed it perfectly. And that's an ace from Jackson. And we are tied 13-13, 4 in a row. Check that 5 in a row for Arcadia Loup City. And Eva Jackson will serve for the lead. And it goes into the net. Might even skimmed off the top of the head of Kaputska. Service error on the point for Twin Loup, who leads at 14-13. And Ava Bodorf will serve for the Lady Wolves. Sends it. Played by Calrose, who's back in there. Bump set for the attack by Kaputska. Played on the Twin Loup side. Near the net, down the line. Kept alive by Mahler, sent over by Kaputska. Now Otten will set it up in the middle. Horky dinks it, but it's blocked back by Kaputska. Kept alive. Horky again. That's dug out by Luce. And the bump set just a little off from Calrose. And Fitzgerald not ready for that one at that angle, and it's 15-13.
Yeah, just a miss hit as they were trying for the bump set. And Arcadia Loup City just not able to return.
Calrose digs out the serve from Bodorf. Pushed across by Heil. Dug there by Mahler. They'll set it up for a hit for Miranda Olson. That one is long over the defense and out of bounds, and it's back to a 1-point set. 15-14, Twin Loup. Serving for the tie will be Libby Ferentz, the 5'4" junior. Played back row center by Bodorf. Back set. Horky with the attack. That's dug out nicely by Jackson. Set up in the middle for Kaputska. She'll push it across. Dug by Horky, or by Otten, and then Horky with the left hand will dink it over and find the donut hold to give Twin Loup a 2-point advantage, 16-14. And Brent, we're going to see Cassidy Grant here coming in.
All right. Well, we'll see what Cassidy can do. Kind of, well, basically playing with one arm.
She is a junior. Horky will serve from the left side, down the line. Taken there by Olivia Fitzgerald. Now it's Kaputska off the front top. Punched up by Horky. Free ball to cross by Reagan Mahler. Dug out by Calrose. Set by Ferentz for Luce on the crisscross, but long. She had a lane, but took it too long. 17-14 now in favor of Twin Loup. Tara Horky to serve once again. Senior sends it. Dug out by Fitzgerald. Pushed up for Kaputska, and I think that they're going to say it was blocked back. It was pretty close to 4 hits anyway. Point will go to Twin Loup, and a timeout Arcadia Loup City. We're in set number 1. Twin Loup 18, Arcadia Loup City 14. Back in 30 seconds. We come back to Sumner Eddyville Miller High School Gymnasium. Second match of the night. And it's been a tight one, although Twin Loup here just in the last few sets, the last few volleys have extended their lead out to 4 points at 18-14. They'll try to continue on that as Horky will serve it, and that's an ace. She dropped it just over the net and kind of surprised Kaputska.
And since Cassidy Grant has just come into the match, I think Twin Loup has won every point.
And she hasn't touched it. Not yet. Horky with the service. That one's dug out by Fitzgerald, pushed across by Kaputska. Sent quickly back by Alexis Mahler. Left side, loose down the line, kept up by Mahler, kept alive again by Glidden, sent over on the free ball by Otten. Now Kaputska with the directional shot, and that'll work. She saw the open lane. She was going right, pushed it left, and got it home. 19-15, Twin Loup. Arcadia Loup City to serve. Side out service from Fitzgerald, dug out by Mahler. And there's the big swing from Grant. And you can see that she didn't have much of a follow-through. She went diving for that one, but again, just one-handed, she is protecting that left wrist. 19-16 now. Fitzgerald again serving. Played by Mahler. They'll set it up. They'll go to Otten for the big swing. Dug out by Fitzgerald. Pass left side. Off balance. Shaleski just missed it on the crisscross.
Good read by Horkey. She was watching it, and she called it out, and she was right.
20-16 is the score. Twin Loup on top. Alexis Mahler will serve. Played by Calrose. Bumped up by Jackson. Sent on a free ball by Kaputska. Dug by Mahler. Podorf will set it up for Otten with the big swing. Dug out by Jackson. Roll shot is going to work as it'll go out of bounds on the return. And putting that one home was Shaleski for Arcadia Loup City. 22-17. Kaputska will serve. That's a good one. Dug out by Mahler. Bodorf will set it up for Barron. Her attack dug out by Kaputska. Now Barron again over to Otten, who pushes across with the left hand. Set and then pushed across by Luce. Otten will set it up for Grant. That's blocked back but out of bounds. So Cassidy Grant, even though she can't really raise that left arm up, got a little good follow through on that one.
Yeah, that's just amazing. Cassidy, I mean, she's playing with one arm and got a really strong swing on that, able to tool the block and collect the point.
She'll step out. Folkers is back in. Glidden's service is short. And on the service error, it's a point for Arcadia Loup City, who trails 21-18. They have battled hard in this set. Luce will serve. The jump serve is a nice one. Nice dugout as well, though, by Alexis Mahler, who gets it back and pushes it across. Back set for Heil. Crisscross attack. Dug by Otten. She'll get it back from Horton. And she'll go, or Horkey, and she'll get a crisscross attack of her own that goes for the point. Nice vision by Elsie Otten.
Yeah, went with the aggressive angle and collected the point.
We'll take a timeout as they take one here on the court. 22-18 the score in favor of Twin Loup. We'll be back in 30 seconds. We come back to Sumner. 22-18 is our score. We're in match number 2, set number 1. Twin Loup leading Arcadia Loup City. Lady Wolves are 3 points away from winning this set as Elsie Otten will float it across. Dug out by Heil. Back set, back row attack by Kaputska. Tipped over by Folkers and was at 4 hits. Was not hit by Folkers. It hit the net and came back. So the 4 hits on Arcadia Loup City. Point will go to Twin Loup. They lead 23-18. Service from Otten. Pass left side. Heil off balance. Too long on the attack. Tammy Phillips looking for the point from the previous serve, and she'll get both of the points now on the scoreboard. So it's right. 24-18. Set point here for Twin Loup. Off balance. Jackson. She'll get it off the back row touch of Glidden for the point, and that'll keep the Lady Rebels alive in this set, down 24-19. Nicole Shaleski, roll shot across on the service. Quick set. Folkers will drive it through off the set of Otten, and that's the final score here in this first set as Twin Loup wins it over Arcadia Loup City 25-19. We'll take a 2.5-minute break. Come back to Sumner after this on 95.3. Twin Loup takes the first set 25-19. They're ready to serve to start the second one. It's Otten. Sends it, dug out by Kapuska. Pass left side for Heil down the road. She goes down the line, that is. Glidden takes it. Swing by Barron, kept alive on the ALC side. They'll set it up on Twin Loup side. Folkers blocked back by Jackson. Then she had an overpass attempt. That's blocked back. Heil blocks back one, and then Folkers finds the zone. Good battle right there at the net by these two teams to start off set number 2.
Yeah, that wasn't just the best point of the match. That was the best point of the night that we have seen.
Otten with the service, dug out by Callarose. Back set for Jackson, dug out nicely by Mahler. Back set, Horky with the swing. That's dug out by Luce. Pass into the center for Jackson. Blocked back, and a stuff block. The combination of Catherine Folkers and Riley Barron.
Yeah, good tight block by Folkers and Barron right at the net. Good swing from the Rebels, but just couldn't split the block as Twin Loup gets the point.
Otten serves it again, dug out by Callarose. Back set to Kaputska, back row attack. Dug out by Glidden, the big swing now by Horky, block back. Shaleski and Jackson on the front line with the stuff block.
Yeah, Nicole Shaleski, 5'7", sophomore right there for the rejection.
2-1 the score. Shaleski will serve, center court, dug out by Mahler. Otten sets it up for Folkers, and she'll put it off the back row touch of Shaleski for the point. 3-1 in favor of Twin Loup. Kaputska back in. Shaleski will sit down. Claire Young will also check in now for Twin Loup. From that right side, a twister. It's taken there by Kaputska, kept alive by Callarose. Free ball across by Heil, taken there by Young. Now it's Horky on the crisscross, dug out by Kaputska. Pass left side, Fitzgerald on the swing, and she just simply overplayed that one.
Yeah, feel bad for Fitzgerald. Just couldn't time it quite right and didn't get a good swing on it.
Young again will serve, up 4-1. Dug out by Kaputska, back set for Jackson, and into the net. 5-1 now in favor of Twin Loup. They won the first set, 25-19. Trying to come out of here 1-1 to that's an ace from Claire Young. Twin Loup lost in 2 sets to the host team SEM. Arcadia, Loup City, and SEM will be our final match of the night. Claire Young will serve with a 6-1 advantage. Played down the back row by Kaputska. Set up by Luce, pushed across by Kaputska, dug out by Young. Back set for Folkers, blocked back, kept alive, sent over by Folkers. Now Luce will set it up for Heil, running spike, taken by Horky. Otten will set it up for Regenballer, blocked back, but covered by Otten. And then free ball back by Callarose. Young to the front row. Now Folkers with the big swing. She just swiped that one down.
Yeah, that was a lookout moment. Wow.
Timeout, Lady Rebels. All Twin Loup here early in the second set. They're up 7-1. We're back in 30 seconds on 95.3. We come back to Sumner. Pretty good crowd on hand here for this pink out night for Sumner Eddyville Miller. Set number 2 of match number 2. Twin Loup won the first 25-19 and has jumped out to a 7-1 advantage in set number 2, trying to get their 20th win of the year. Claire Young will serve. Played back row by Kaputska, put it up nicely. Luce will set it up for a back row attack from Kaputska, but that went wide to the left, out of bounds, and the point will go to Twin Loup, up 8-1. Young to serve once again. That one into the net, service error. Point for the Lady Rebels, 8-2 our count. And Eva Jackson back to the service line, just right of center. That one ate up Young, and that's an ace. Young kind of played that one off her shoulder. 8-3, back-to-back points for Arcadia Loup City as they try to bounce back into the set. Jackson again, that's a good one. Young takes it, they'll set it up for Folkers. Off the block, it's kept alive by a diving Fitzgerald, sent over by Kaputska. Back set now for Horkey on the crisscross attack. Dug out of there by Jackson. Calrose keeps it alive. Free ball from Luce. That's dug back row by Glidden. Now Reagan Mahler into the net on her attack. 3 in a row now for Arcadia Loup City as they are back within 4 at 8-4. Jackson with a big one. That thing just smoked right across, but dug out nicely by Glidden. Folkers left it a little short and soft. Kaputska timed her jump and put it home. 8-5 now as Arcadia Loup City with 4 in a row, Brent.
Yeah, good response out of the timeout by the Lady Rebels as they have gotten themselves right back into the second set.
Jackson floats it across, taken by Mahler. Bumped up by Otten, and Horkey will free ball it across. Back set, Heil with the attack. That's nice diving save by Glidden. Keep it alive, and then a net violation going to be whistled on Arcadia Loup City on that defensive play. 9-5 the score as Ava Bodorf will come in to serve for the Lady Wolves. Nice one taken there by Fitzgerald. Back set. Heil down the line off the net. Kind of popped over the head of the first row of defenders and in front of the second row. Perfect shot off the net. 9-6. And if you're out there, you say, I called that. Ferentz will come in. And the overpass stuffed down by Luce, but covered by Mahler. Big swing by Horkey, kept alive by Kaputska. Fitzgerald will loft it across. Taken by Mahler, set up in the middle for Horkey. Trickles around, and that was partially a block. No, they're going to say 4 hits. First one was not a block. It was a touch. So when they didn't get it over on that third, 4 hits were called. Horkey to do the honors from the left side. Up 10-6, it goes into the net. Make it 10-7 now after the service error. Olivia Fitzgerald, 5'7" sophomore. Works the left side with this serve. Twisting, it takes a decent bounce for Mahler, but she left it short on the pass. It went off the net, the bottom of the net. Could not be played. 10-8 now the score. Fitzgerald, another good one. That one's punched up by Otten. Otten gets it back. It hits the net. That's 4 hits. And what once was an 8-1 lead for Twin Loup is now a 10-9 lead. They have been outscored 8-2. Mahler sets it up. Roll shot by Olson. Taken by Luce. Pass left side. Kaputska the roll shot down the line. Taken by Mahler. Now Reagan Mahler with the attack. And that is long. And we are tied at 10. Arcadia Loup City right now with a little bit of momentum. Fitzgerald serves that one. Taken by Mahler. Pass left side. Big swing Otten. Hit the net. Went on over. Taken by Jackson. Left-handed shot by Luce. Dug out of there by Bodorf. Standing spike by Reagan Mahler. Taken by Shuleski. And now the attack by Kaputska. Crunched up by Alexis Mahler. And then dinked across into the donut hole. Actually off to the right side by Elsie Otten. 11-10. Twin Loup with the lead. Alexis Mahler to serve. Taken by Calrose, dead center, back row. Big swing, Kaputska is down. Tatum Kaputska, 5'8" senior. She is only one of 2 seniors on this roster for Arcadia Loup City. Correct that, 3. And they're all out there right now. Luce and Kaputska. Actually, Heil is sitting down right now. Twin Loup will get the serve, receive, and send it over with Barron on the free ball. Sent across for a kill off the left side. Going left to right is Shaleski. Got the kill down, and it's 12-11 now in favor of Arcadia Loup City. Kaputska steps into this one, and that's an ace. 13-11. Lady Rebels now with a 2-point advantage. And a timeout, Twin Loup. Arcadia Loup City up by 2. We'll be back after this. You're listening to the Thunderbird 95.3, 30 seconds, and we'll return. (13-11) the score. Arcadia Loup City on top of Twin Loup. At one point in this set, it was 8-1 in favor of the Lady Wolves, but Lady Rebels have found their groove. Timeout taken by Twin Loup coach Tammy Phillips, and we'll see what happens here. Kaputska with a good service. Mahler kept alive by Botter. Nice diving save by Otten to get it across, and then big swing by Jackson, dug out by Bodorf. Off the touch on the front row. Tara Horkey gets it down. That was a huge play by Otten.
Yeah, Horkey may have finished the point off with the kill, but the reason Twin Loup had a chance to win the point was the amazing dig and save by Elsie Otten.
And to be able to get it over the net, because that was the third hit. Glidden service. Spinning across, dug out by Kaputska. Pass left side, directed across by Shaleski. Now the dink will work into the donut hole for Catherine Folkers.
Boy, great tip by Folkers. Able to read things at the net, just tipped it over the outstretched arms of Eva Jackson.
Twin Loup has come back with 2 in a row to tie it up at 13. Glidden into the top of the net and back. That's about 2 more inches higher, and it pops on over. 14-13, Arcadia Loup City with the lead and the service. Landry Luce sends it, hits the net, goes on over. That's an ace. Mahler got a piece of it, but that's all she could do. 15-13, Arcadia Loup City looking for their biggest lead of the match right here. Luce floats it, taken there by Horkey. They'll set it up for Folkers. Block back, kept covered by Otten, and then dinked across with the direction by Folkers.
Well, Catherine just using her height on that one, a joust at the net. Folkers over 6 feet tall, able to use that height and win the joust.
15-14, dug out by Callarose. Bump set ahead to Heil, who rolls it across. Taken by Mahler, and then the attack off the left side is too strong from Riley Barron. 16-14. Arcadia Loup City up by 2 and serving. Nicole Shaleski. Mahler will dig it out. Otten ahead for Horkey. Drives it through the double D and down for the point. 16-15. Callarose will come back in and play the libero. And checking in to serve will be Claire Young. Young's service is a good one, taken by Fitzgerald. Quick set, Heil will direct it across, taken there by Horkey. She'll get it back from Otten. Crisscross attack will work. Off the back row touch, trying to push it up was Kaputska, but it just kind of went through her fingertips.
Horkey's had a couple of really good matches for Twin Loup here tonight, leading the team in attacks last match and in this match as well.
16-16. Service from Young. That's dug by Kaputska. Bump set, Callarose. Free ball to cross by Fitzgerald. And they let it go, and it was in. Young and Glidden looked at it, and that dropped in just in front of the line. And Arcadia Loup City again back on top, 17-16. Young will go out. Alexis Mahler back in. And Jackson's serve goes into the net. She'd had a big service run earlier in this set, Brent, but put that first one into the net here. Ava Bodorf in. Play the back row and serve, and Catherine Folker's out. Miranda Olson's also in. Service by Bodorf. That's long and a service error. 18-17, Arcadia Loup City. And Libby Ferentz, who's come in to do back row play as well as serve, will do the service right here. The jump serve pushes it across. Quickly sent back by Bodorf, kept alive. Now free balled across by Ferentz, dug out by Bodorf. Set up in the middle, big swing by Horkey. That's kept alive by Ferentz, and then a miscommunication between Luce and Kaputska, and it falls between them. 18-18. Twin Loup will serve. They won the first set, 25-19, trying to win the match here if they can. Horkey with an ace off the touch of Jackson. 19-18. And now a timeout, Arcadia Loup City. Twin Loup up by 1, back in 30 seconds. (19-18) is our score. Twin Loup leading Arcadia Loup City. Match number 2 tonight from the Sumner-Eddyville-Miller Triangular. SEM beat Twin Loup 25-18, 25-19 to pick up their 23rd win of the year. And they'll face ALC in the last one. Twin Loup leading Arcadia Loup City right now by 1. They'll serve it. Dug out on the serve receive, punched across by Luce. She was off balance, just trying to get it across. Sent it long, and it's out of bounds. And now Twin Loup 5 points away from winning the set and the match. Tara Horkey left side. Played on the back row by Fitzgerald. Left side, Luce will push it to the back row. Horkey takes it there. They'll set it up for Otten. Was it a touch? It's in anyway, didn't matter.
Well, Elsie Otten has had some great swings here tonight. Ava Bodorf moving to the setter position, sets up Otten for the swing, and Elsie able to deliver once again.
21-18. And Horkey to serve again. She'll move over to the right side this time. Sends it. Played by Calarose, bumped up by Luce. Kaputska's attack into the net. And 3 points away now are the Twin Loup Lady Wolves. Up 22-18. It's been a battle for them in this second set after jumping out to a quick 8-1 lead. Horkey's service taken there by Calarose. Loose. The left-handed shot will go in front of the back row defense of Horkey. 22-19. This keeps the Lady Rebels in it. Fitzgerald with the big serve, and that's an ace. I think Twin Loup looked like they maybe moved up so far they didn't realize there was that much space behind them. 22-20. Fitzgerald will try to get her teammates back within 1. Mahler with a nice dig, pass left side. Otten off balance, covered nicely by Horkey. Olsen will roll it across and get the line. She floated that one towards the corner and got the sideline and got it in.
Sports competition can sometimes be a game of inches. And that was the case with Olsen. It just did catch the line.
23-20, Mahler's service. That's an ace off of Calarose. It is set and match point now for the Lady Wolves. Up 24-20. trying to finish the night 1-1. Porky to do the honors. It's a good one, played by Callarose. Back set, the attack, Kaputska right to left on the crisscross. She gets it home. And Arcadia Loup City stays alive.
Well, it's been easy to see why Kaputska is the leading attacker for Arcadia Loup City coming into the matches tonight. Another terrific kill by Kaputska.
And she'll serve. Drives it down the line, taken by Horky. Bodorf push over for Barron, taken by Shaleski, and then just a one-hand direction by Ferentz. Down the line, Ferentz keeps it alive, but that's all, as that'll go down for Otten. And Twin Loup wins the second set, 25-21. They take the match 2-0, 25-19, 25-21. We'll come back and wrap things up after this 3-minute timeout here in Sumner.
And as we come back to SEM High School, want to say thanks to Scott Harvey, your local Thrive-In financial representative, named one of the world's most ethical companies for the 10th year in a row. They believe in serving their clients with excellence and integrity. Thrive-In helps clients achieve financial clarity so they can live lives with meaning and gratitude. To find out more, contact Scott Harvey at 872-2511. Twin Loup wins our second match of the night. Straight sets over Arcadia Loup City, 25-19, 25-21. Getting ready now for the final match of the night. The host team SEM getting ready to take on Arcadia Loup City, and we'll move into our coverage of it after this 4-minute timeout. And we come back to SEM High School, ready for coverage of our final match of the night between SEM and Arcadia Loup City. Tonight's match being brought to you by Loup City Lanes, Tubbs Pub in Sumner, Loup City Auto Parts, Bowie Fertilizer, Loup City Lumber, Johnson Hunt and Fish, Loop Agency and Loop Realty, Kushock's Hardware and Variety, and Platte River Outdoors, Stryker Tractor Repair, Eggleston Oil, First Nebraska Bank Insurance Group, Beatty Family Farms. Also brought to you by Citizens Bank, Moshka's Building Center, Loop City RX Shop, J Boutique in Loop City. Tonight's coverage also brought to you by the Nebraska State Bank, Grocery Cart, Custer Federal State Bank, Aero Seed, Rods Body and Paint, Team Physical Therapy, Trotter Service, Meat Lumber, Shelter Insurance, Brent Custer, Agent, A to Z Lawn Pro and Landscaping, Squire Septic Service of Myrna, Geared for Sports, Agland ATV, Bruning Bank, The Garden Center, Sargent Irrigation, and Duda Plumbing. We'll come back and tell you about the sponsors who are bringing you the live video stream tonight. We'll tell you more about that availability after this 3-minute timeout. And again, we bring you back to SEM High School, getting ready for the start of our final match of this triangular at SEM as the Lady Mustangs get ready to take on the Lady Rebels of Arcadia Loup City. Well, again, tonight we've been providing a live video stream accompanied by our radio call tonight. And we want to say thanks to the businesses who are sponsoring our video stream. We hope you pay attention to them as they flash across your screen tonight. They include Joe's Market of Loup City, Jen Smedra, CPA, Moshka's Building Center in Arcadia, Palmer Monument, Lines Appliance, Agribest Feeds of Callaway, Insurance of the Heartland, Grocery Cart, Power Solutions, Agland ATV, BD, Colligan, Del Moniger, and Tim Wright. Meade Lumber, Nebraska State Bank, Kristen Electric, Callaway District Hospital with the Arnold and Callaway Medical Clinics, all making our video stream possible for you to enjoy tonight. We'll come back and take a look at the starting lineups for our final match after this 3-minute timeout. And we come back to the SEM High School Gymnasium, again getting ready for our final match of the night between SEM and Arcadia Loup City. Here are your starters for SEM: Taryn Arbuthnot, 5'6" freshman; Katie Ryder, 5'6" sophomore; Jenna Claflin, 5'11" junior; Jacelyn Hoos, 5'6" freshman; Micah O'Neill, 5'11" junior; and Kaylee Jackson, 5'10" junior. The libero, Allie Rohde, 5'4" sophomore. SEM coached by Tammy Kenton. Now the starters for Arcadia Loup City: Olivia Fitzgerald is a 5'7" sophomore; the libero, Capri Calrose, 5'2" junior; Landry Luce, 5'7" senior; Eva Jackson, 5'8" sophomore; Nicole Shaleski, 5'7" sophomore; Tatum Kapuska, 5'8" senior; and Danica Heil, a 5'10" senior. Head coach for Arcadia Loup City is Sky Grease. And we'll come back to serve it off after this 1-minute timeout. And we are underway with our final match of the night between SEM and Arcadia Loup City. SEM takes the opening 2 points as Arbuthnot gets ready to serve it for the Lady Mustangs. Floats one across, kept alive by Arcadia Loup City, but the return is going to go long and out. And the point goes to SEM.
This Sumner Eddyville Miller team's really been on a roll. They started 5-4 this year, and since then they are 17-1.
Arbuthnot with the serve. Arcadia Loup City will set it up for the back row attack from Kapuska. SEM able to keep it alive and send it back on the third. Danica Heil now will set it for Shaleski. Tries to set it over the block, covered by SEM. Mike O'Neill with a swing, kept alive by Arcadia Loup City. Heil sends it back. Now SEM with it on their side. Outside attack coming, and that will find the floor. Jenna Claflin with the kill. 4-0 start for SEM here in the opening set.
Well, we didn't have a lot of the student body for the first match of the night, but a lot of them are here for this one.
Arbuthnot with the serve, chasing Arcadia Loup City. They will hustle and get it back on the third. Pass to the front, the setup outside for Claflin again. Jenna Claflin takes it down the line, 5-0 SEM. Taryn Arbuthnot, 5'6" freshman, ready to serve again. SEM victorious earlier tonight over Twin Loup in straight sets. Arcadia Loup City falling to Twin Loup in straight sets a moment ago. Final match of the night. Arcadia Loup City will hustle and they'll send it back on the third. Chasing now SEM, and they will not be able to return as Arcadia Loup City picks up their first point of the set. At the service line is Nicole Shaleski. They'll bump it up for Arbuthnot, who rolls it over the net. Played by the Rebels. Middle attack by Jackson. Hits it wide and out. And the point goes to SEM.
Jackson just trying to get the corner, but off to the right a little bit.
Serve on its way from Katie Ryder. Handled by Kapuska in the back row. Quick set across by Arcadia Loup City, handled by SEM. Mustangs with it on their side. Quick set over, and that'll find the floor. Jacelyn Hoos was the one who put it across. And the point goes to SEM.
I've just been impressed with SEM's vision on the court to see the open area and get that ball to it.
Ryder at the service line. The setup for Danica Heil, who gets a swing. Covered by the libero, Allie Rohde. Now at the net. Fought for, sent back over by SEM, but wide and out. And the point goes to the Rebels. Again, we want to say thanks to all of the sponsors helping us with our coverage of volleyball tonight on the radio and on our live video stream. Set up O'Neill in the middle, and Mike O'Neill puts it down for the kill.
Beautifully done being in system that time for SEM to get that quick set for O'Neill, who drove right into that one.
And O'Neill is one of those players you like to just watch warm up. She was hitting them hard in warm-ups and puts one down there. Here's the attack outside for Kapuska. Speaking of people who are fun to just watch warm up, Kapuska one of them on this attack, though it sails long and out. And the point goes to SEM.
Yeah, she had a pretty good match against Twin Loup, but missed that one a little long.
Jenna Claflin with the serve, chasing after at Arcadia Loup City, and they'll send it back and in play. As putting it on the back line was Olivia Fitzgerald, and Arcadia Loup City collects their third point of the set.
We've seen that a few times here tonight in each of the matches where one of the teams maybe comes up a little too far and doesn't realize there's that much space back there.
Libby Ferentz into the match now, serving for the Rebels. Backside attack for Jackson. Jackson has it dug and then returned by Arcadia Loup City. The setup for Jackson again on the outside. Tips it over with the left hand, returned by Arcadia Loup City. Chasing, keeping it alive, Arbuthnot tipped over by Jackson. Arcadia Loup City will set the outside. Fitzgerald with the swing and the kill. Ferentz quickly sending it across, dug out by Rohde, the libero. O'Neill roll shot over. Played nicely by Ferentz in the back row. Getting the swing as Fitzgerald catches the net. Enough power to get it over. Now O'Neill back the other way. And Micah O'Neill able to power it through the block for the point.
And even off balance, she was able to put a lot of oomph on that one.
O'Neill now serving. Jump serve on its way. Pass to Ferentz, who sets the outside. Handled by Rohde, the libero of SEM. Now Jackson on the outside. The swing kept alive by the Rebels for the moment, but they will not be able to return. And SEM goes up 11-4 here in the opening set.
Kaylee Jackson can kind of surprise you. She'll kind of wind up that shot, and when she does wind it up, she releases it fast.
Mike O'Neill tries to float one, but it goes into the net. And the point goes to the Rebels. Olivia Fitzgerald back to the service line. SEM 11, Arcadia Loup City 5 as we play in the opening set of our final match of the night. Serve on its way. O'Neill on the receive. They'll set it outside for Arbuthnot. Oh, look out.
She just does not look like a freshman out there on the court. I have just been amazed at her talent level.
Who's with the serve? Picked up by Kapuska. Quick sent over by Ferentz, but handled by Arbuthnot. Returned by SEM on the third. Chasing after it, the Rebels. Hitting out of the back row is Jackson. Dug out by Rohde. Kept alive by the SEM libero and returned by the Mustangs on three. Ferentz will set it up outside for the attack, and that will be kept alive by O'Neill. Returned by Arbuthnot on the third. Ferentz will set it outside for the attack. That's dug again by O'Neill in the back row. Jackson back the other way for SEM, played by Jackson of Arcadia Loup City. Sent over by the Rebels, and it will find the floor. Landry loose, able to place it where it had to be, and the point goes to the Rebels.
Yeah, she got the defense kind of moving over to the left side, and so she put it back into that corner on the right side.
Tatum Kapuska at the service line. Tatum will put it in play. O'Neill on the receive. Miscommunication. SEM is not going to be able to return. They put it into the net. And Arcadia Loup City now has come to within 5.
We saw the last match. If you don't continue to play consistently, if you make some mistakes, the Lady Rebels will take advantage.
Kapuska has it dug by Rohde, but SEM not able to pick it up after that. And here come the Rebels. They are to within 4. Kapuska gives it a slap and sends it across. They'll bump it up outside for Ryder. Block back, played by Ryder on the front row. Now Jackson on the near side has it dug out by Ferentz. They'll bump it up for Shaleski. Block back by Arbuthnot, and it finds the floor.
She got up there quickly to block that one down. Took the angle perfectly.
SEM 13, Arcadia Loup City 8. We play in the opening set. Best 2 out of 3 match. Jackson has the serve dug by Kapuska. Hitting now Shaleski. They'll set the outside for Claflin now of SEM. Dug out, kept alive by Ferentz and returned by Shaleski. Pass to the front as they'll set middle for Arbuthnot. Dug out, returned on one hit. They'll set it across to the deep corner. And able to place it where it had to be was Jacelyn Hoos. At the service line, Kaylee Jackson for SEM. And it's into the net.
Haven't seen as many service errors in this particular match as we had seen in the 2 previous ones here tonight.
Landry loose, the service for Arcadia Loup City. Good pass to the front. They set the near side, block back, and that's good.
Jackson and Shaleski up there doing a good job of blocking that one back and putting it behind the defense or SEM's defense, which had kind of snuck up.
A floater from loose, picked up by O'Neill. Jenna Claflin bumps it up toward Arbuthnot, who sends it across on the third. They'll set the outside for Heil now. Over the block, but played by O'Neill. Pass up in toward the net. Saved by Hoos. But then sending it into the net is Ryder. And Arcadia Loup City is to within 3. Rebels hanging tough with the 20-plus win team from SEM. Pass to the front as they set Claflin. Backs up, slaps it across with the right hand. Tipped over by Neal, and then sent back by SEM, and it will find the floor. Heil was the one who tipped it over for Arcadia Loup City, but a great dig and save by SEM, who collects the point. Served by Arbuthnot. Heil on the receive. Jackson will set Heil. Heil takes the swing into the net, and the point goes to SEM.
That's a tough break there for Arcadia Loup City, not getting that one over.
Timeout on the court. We're in the opening set. SEM 16, Arcadia Loup City 11. Back in 30 seconds. And we bring it back to SEM. Live coverage of the SEM Triangular with the Lady Mustangs of SEM, Twin Loup Lady Wolves, and Arcadia Loup City Lady Rebels. We're in the final match of the night. SEM leading Arcadia Loup City 16-11 here in the opening set. SEM won the opening match against Twin Loup in straight sets, and Twin Loup won over Arcadia Loup City in straight sets earlier tonight. Set up for Heil, gets a good swing, kept alive at the net by O'Neill. SEM will chase and return on the third. Luce will set Jackson in the middle, dug out by Arbuthnot. They'll set O'Neill, tips it, and redirects it from the block as it finds the floor.
Good job to kind of swipe it off to the right side to find that opening.
SEM 17, Arcadia Loup City 11 as we play here in the opening set. Arbuthnot's serve goes into the net. Service error. Point and serve over to Arcadia Loup City. Shaleski at the service line. Nicole will put it in play. Shank pass by Rohde, saved by Arbuthnot though, and returned by SEM on the third. Luce will set it behind her for Heil. The swing and the kill.
Keep in mind, Arcadia Loup City rallied from an 8-1 deficit that last set against their match against Twin Loup. Took a 2-point lead for quite a while.
Shaleski a floater, and that is going to be kept alive. Nope. Going across the center line trying to save it was Katie Ryder. She'll be called in the net. Net violation against SEM, and Arcadia Loup City now has a chance to come to within two. Shaleski sends it across. O'Neill on the receive. Pass up in toward the net. O'Neill now off the set, through the block, but covered by Luce. Heil, quick set over, scrambling SEM, and they will get it back on the third. They'll bump it up for Heil, who now sets it middle for Jackson into the net, and the point goes to SEM.
That was a big swing right there, an opportunity for the Lady Rebels to get within two. Instead, SEM's be able to pump it back up to a 4-point lead.
Katie Ryder with the serve. Luce will bump it up in the air for Fitzgerald. Sails just a little bit long. It's out, and now SEM has a 5-point advantage. Katie Ryder gives it a spin and sends it across with the right hand. At the net, punched over with the right hand, and fist of Fitzgerald. Now O'Neill a swing. Micah O'Neill the kill.
You are not going to defend that when she gets it in that possession.
Timeout Arcadia Loup City. We're in the opening set. SEM 20, Arcadia Loup City 14. Back in 30 seconds. And we come back to SEM High School. We are in the opening set of our final match of the night. SEM leading Arcadia Loup City 20-14, but the Rebels have put up a good fight here against SEM in this first set. Katie Ryder with the serve. Pass to the front. Luce will bump it up to Jackson. Sets it over on the angle, but handled by SEM. A swing from O'Neill, chasing Arcadia Loup City, and they will not be able to return.
At that point when it was 17-14, SEM now has been able to reel off 4 in a row, put some separation between them and the ALC.
Ryder floats this one. The setup for Heil, who takes charge, and Danica Heil puts it to the floor for the kill.
And it just shows right there from Danica Heil, doesn't matter how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it. That was not a big hard hit, but well placed.
Eva Jackson with the serve. O'Neill on the receive. They will set O'Neill in the middle. Kept alive and returned by Kapuska. Ryder will set it outside now. The attack and the kill for Jacelyn Hoos.
And you got to watch out for O'Neill in the middle. And then when Ryder passes her and goes over to the left side, that just frees things up out there for Jacelyn Hoos.
Jenna Kaplan with the serve. Chasing Arcadia Loup City, and that will be an ace. Credit the ace to Jenna Claflin, 5'11" junior. And now SEM 2 points away from a 1-0 lead. Serve on the way. Handled by Fitzgerald. Luce will try to pass it up toward Kapuska, who gets a swing on it. Now the setup outside for Kaylee Jackson, and that'll be 4 hits. Jackson's attack goes into the net. Point Arcadia Loup City.
Eva Jackson in that last match had a pretty good service run. Actually, it's going to be Libby Ferentz checking in to serve.
Ferentz sends it across. Rhodey on the receive. They'll bump it up in the air for O'Neill, who sends it across. Kapuska tips it with the left hand. Handled by the Mustangs at the net. A battle coming, and it's going to find the floor on the Arcadia Loup City side. Jacelyn Hoos able to win the joust at the net for SEM.
Who's showing her quickness to get there and position herself to put that one away.
Set point at 24-16. O'Neill to serve it. Ferentz will set it up outside for Luce, and that will be kept alive by O'Neill, and then some miscommunication. Rhodey and Jackson kind of ran into one another. Not sure as to who wanted to take charge and play it. Nobody did, and we play on. Serve by Fitzgerald. That's an ace. No, Jackson, I think, served it. No, it was Fitzgerald. I was right the first time. So we continue to play here in this opening set. Again, it is set point for SEM, and that one will sail long and out, and that will end the opening set. So set one goes to SEM, 25-18. Back for set two in 2.5 minutes. And we come back to SEM High School. Well, the teams are given 3 minutes in between sets. SEM and Arcadia Loup City decide to only take half that time, so we are underway in set number 2. SEM scoring the first 3 points of the set. Here's Heil with the swing. Punched up in the air by Arbuthnot. Now the attack from Jenna Claflin, blocked back by Heil. They set the outside, and sending it over is Ryder for SEM. Arcadia Loup City scrambles and gets it back on 3. Pass into the net, kept alive though for O'Neill, who gets a swing, and that'll be a kill as SEM goes up 4-0 early in set number 2.
And half of these points that SEM has scored here in this second set have come on aces from Taryn Arbuthnot.
The freshman with the serve. Pass up in toward the net, kept alive though by Luce, returned by SEM. SEM back with it on their side. O'Neill, a swing and a kill.
And let's credit Katie Ryder here right now, the 5'6" sophomore setter. She's putting it right where O'Neill wants it and allows her to put that big hit.
Arbuthnot has served the first 5 points of this set, looking for a 6th. Shaleski has a block by O'Neill, and that'll get to the floor. And Micah O'Neill, a difference maker right now in this set at the net. Timeout on the court. SEM leads 1-0. They lead in the second, 6-0. Back in 30 seconds. And we come back to the SEM High School Gymnasium. SEM off to the hot start here in set 2. They lead 6-0, and they've done it behind the service of Taryn Arbuthnot. Arbuthnot floats one over. Shaleski on the receive. They set the back row for Kapuska. Blocked back by O'Neill. And Micah O'Neill, Larry, just simply the difference right now at the net in this second set.
Well, I tell you what, she just looks like she's a prison guard right up there on that net. You're not getting past her.
Arbuthnot ready to serve again. Serve on its way. Received by Heil. Bumped up in the air by Landry Luce over to Shaleski, who gets a swing. Pass to the front. SEM sets Claflin on the outside. Touch at the net by Arcadia Loup City. Rebels able to scramble and return. Shaleski gets a good swing on it, but sends it long and out. And it's an 8-0 start for SEM here in set number 2.
And it's been the strong serving of Arbuthnot and the setting by Ryder and the attacks by O'Neill.
Wow, big jump serve. That's an ace. My goodness, did you see how high Arbuthnot tossed that and then able to time it and bring it with authority over the net?
And again, folks, she's a freshman.
Serve, dug, but not able to be played. Back-to-back aces for Arbuthnot. And SEM leads 10-0 here in the second set. Arbuthnot again, one of those high tosses, tries to take it down the line, but hits it wide.
And the only reason that one didn't go is because it was a little bit wide.
At the service line for Arcadia Loup City, Nicole Shaleski. Shaleski will send it across. O'Neill on the receive. They set middle for Claflin. Jenna Claflin drives it to the floor.
Oh, this is a big party right now for SEM. They are getting everybody involved.
Boy, they are sharp right now. Katie Ryder at the service line. Sends it across. Arcadia Loup City scrambles. They will not return. Another ace for the Mustangs. SEM won the opening set 25-18, but boy, it's been all Mustangs here in set number 2. They lead 12-1. Serve on the way by Ryder, and that's going to sail long and out. Service error, point and serve over to the Rebels. Eva Jackson at the service line. Jackson with the serve, pass up in toward the net, saved though by Ryder, getting a swing as O'Neill, and that'll be a kill. Boy, it was not a good pass, but a tremendous save by Ryder at the net to give O'Neill a swing, and she was able to produce again.
And O'Neill has just been extremely tough around the net here in this set.
Jenna Claflin floats one. Overpass, O'Neill tried to put it down, but a great save by Luce. However, Arcadia Loup City not able to return. Point SEM.
Yeah, but her getting to the net and dinking that across really put Arcadia Loup City on their heels, and that's why they never got it back across.
Served by Claflin. Back set for Danica Heil. Good swing, and Heil able to power it through the block attempt of SEM at the net. Point Rebels.
And that's something that the Lady Rebels needed, was a good hit, a good attack, something to build on, down 11.
Serve on the way from Libby Ferentz, who's into the match. Set over the net. Arcadia Loup City plays it, and they send it back, but it's going to be long and out. And now Mike O'Neill at the service line for SEM. Serve on its way. Ferentz will bump set it for the attack from Luce. Pass to the front. Ryder will set middle for Arbuthnot, who finds the floor. Wow, SEM sharp here in set number 2. They lead 16-3. O'Neill with a high toss on the jump serve. Dug out by Eva Jackson. Back set for Fitzgerald. Well, they're going to say it was blocked. I thought maybe they'd call it into the net. They do not. We play on. Here's the attack from Hoos. Kept alive, chasing after it, Arcadia Loup City. And they will get it over on the third. Overpass. Arcadia Loup City able to jump up and put it down. Give credit to Tatum Kapuska.
Yeah, good hustle that time by the Lady Rebels to keep that one alive and then get it over and get SEM back on their heels. Oh, wait a minute. They're going to give the point to SEM here.
Oh, did I miss a violation or something?
I evidently did too.
All right, so point SEM. Mustangs have it, up 17-3 now in the set. The attack from Luce goes into the net.
The only thing I could think of is maybe somebody ended up under the net.
Yeah. Into the match now for SEM is Bryn Eggleston. She is serving, and that is an ace.
And that's the first time she's been in all night in either matches, and that's a pretty good way to start.
And now coming in, Danielle Claflin, the lone senior on this roster. She'll come in to play the front row as O'Neill will come out. Serve from Eggleston. Pass to the front as Ferentz will set. Kapuska sets it over the block, but covered by Danielle Claflin. Now Claflin sends it across on the third. Ferentz will set middle for Kapuska. Big swing and a kill.
That's the best attack we've seen in this match for Arcadia Loup City right there.
Olivia Fitzgerald back to the service line. Serve on its way, and that is going to be out. SEM 5 points away from the match. SEM picked up their 22nd win of the year earlier tonight over Twin Loup. Now looking for match win number 23. Rylin Schledowitz is in now for SEM. She will serve and put it in play. Ferentz will set it for Shaleski. Sets it over the block, covered by Schledowitz. Returned by SEM. Arbuthnot able to set it over the net and find the floor.
And that was well done, too, with the two-hand second hit, the dink into the donut hole.
Schledowitz with the serve. Pass to Ferentz, who will set it behind her for Kapuska. Puts it into the net. And now SEM 3 away from closing out the match. Schledowitz with the serve. It goes into the net. And on the service error, point to Arcadia Loup City. Tatum Kapuska to the service line. Kapuska gives it a spin and a slap and sends it across, but it's out. Just missed the back line. Bryn Eggleston chose to step away from it, and she made the right choice. As Danielle Claflin goes to the service line. Danielle puts it in play. Luce will set it up for Kapuska, hitting out of the back row, and she's able to take it off the block attempt of Arbuthnot at the net. Put it to the floor, point Arcadia Loup City.
And we saw Arcadia Loup City do that quite a bit in the first match. Haven't had the opportunities to do that here so much in the second one.
A floater from Landry Luce, dug out by Schledowitz. Now the attack from Arbuthnot, blocked back. Eva Jackson with the block for the Rebels.
And even down as much as they have been here in this set, Arcadia Loup City not giving up on this.
Landry Luce with the serve, floats one, picked up by Eggleston. Good pass. Ryder sets the outside for Danielle Claflin, dug out, kept alive by Luce, and now the attack by Shaleski. Played by Eggleston. Schledowitz sets middle for Arbuthnot, but it's wide and out. SEM 23, Arcadia Loup City 8. Serve on the way. Is it in? No, it just missed. It's out. And now it's match point SEM at 24-8 here in set number 2. SEM crowd clapping their hands as Arbuthnot gives it a high toss. The serve is an ace. Wow.
That's an exclamation point.
Boy, it takes talent to throw it that high, time it, and then serve it with the velocity that Arbuthnot does. SEM wins it in straight sets, 25-18, 25-8. Want to say thanks to Thrivent Financial, Scott Harvey, your local representative. Life insurance can help you protect your future and loved ones, but your needs may change over time. Thrivent is committed to helping you find solutions that align with your life. Schedule your checkup today. Call Scott at 872-2511. Fort County Heating and Air owners Brian Hogg and Austin Cox serve the area with a combined 20 years of experience in the HVAC industry. They provide free estimates and 24-hour service. They'll be there for you when the cold weather hits, so be prepared. Call Fort County Heating and Air at 872-2258. We're back to wrap it up after this 2-minute timeout. And we come back to wrap it up from here at SEM. SEM goes 2-0 at the Triangular tonight. The evening started with SEM winning over Twin Loup in straight sets, 25-18, 25-19. It ends with SEM collecting a straight set win over Arcadia Loup City, 25-18, 25-8. In the middle match, Twin Loup won it over the Lady Rebels of Arcadia Loup City, 25-19, 25-21. Larry, your final thoughts?
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a very impressive SEM team. My first look at them here, it's a young team, and they're going places. They're strong right now, 18-1 since their first 9 games, and it's a big week. They had the Pink out here tonight, and later on this week, they've got a top 10 matchup for volleyball and a top 10 matchup for football. The volleyball team, 8th ranked in the state, they're going to host number 1 Shelton here later this week. That ought to be a dandy.
Yeah, so it will be fun. It'll be fun to see how that plays out, and it will be enjoyable to see how our area teams play down the stretch. As again, sub-district play for high school volleyball, if you can believe it, starts next week. Well, that's going to do it for our coverage from here in Sumner tonight. For all the sponsors that made the broadcast possible, for Larry Kottner, for our video camera operator, Jeff Bailey, for our studio engineer, Jeremy Scheip, who saved us tonight, we say thanks to all of you. And thank you for listening. For Central Nebraska's Sports Source, I'm Brent Apperson. Good night.